Oh my Jesus. Hello. It is currently, let's get rid of notifications. All the Goodreads notifications. It is almost 9 o'clock, and I am partially getting ready for work, partially getting ready to go see the Renaissance concert film. So far, I'm still the only ticket purchased, so I'm actually not too upset about it because I'm really not trying to see people carrying on in the middle of the walkways and byways or whatever the movie theater. I just wanted to see this. Also, I have to say, uh, the ticket price for this movie is a little unserious, Beyonce. I'm just saying. I know that I am an AMC A-list member, and so like I don't really look at the cost of movie tickets that often, but I can guarantee you that when I have had to purchase a movie ticket in the past for a matinee, the first showing of the fucking day, it was not 22 American dollars. For an 11 o'clock showing. 22 American dollars. This is insane. I'm sorry. Like let's be for fucking real for a second. This is why the cinema is dying, okay? Because there ain't no reason that the first showing of the day should cost anybody 22 American dollars for one movie ticket. Also, I'm very upset that my movie theater does not seem to have the AMC Renaissance collection, little, collectible popcorn tins and the little drink cups, because I would definitely want a cup. Now, am I going to get it today? No. No, I'm not, because they don't have it. But also, not after I paid 22 American dollars for the movie ticket. No, no, no. So I'm sure it'll pop up eventually because going season, which is conflicting with my desire to do this little vlogmas situation. I still have no idea what I'm going to read today. Last night, early this morning, I went on to Libby and I was like, what should I get? What should I like look up? I should find something to listen to while I'm at work, while I'm on my way to the movie theater. Um, I was thinking, audiobook, obviously, because, I'm gonna be on the move. I have a couple of things checked out that I did get. I have like my Viola Davis's memoir. What else did I grab? Let's see here. Let's go to the Libby tab. So I have the one by Julia Argaby, which is like set on a reality dating competition I checked out from the library earlier this year. And I don't know if I DNF'd it or like I just set it aside because I wasn't feeling it or whatever, but I had that checked out. Same with The Favor by Adele Griffin. This was giving like Martha Stewart vibes, if I remember correctly, where it's like a woman and a mentor. So, that's right up my alley. Those are buzzwords for me. Like I said, Viola Davis's memoir. Saturday Night at the Lakeside Supper Club by J. Ryan Straddle. This is like surprisingly popular at my local library, and so I'm just interested. I'm interested to see what it is. I have the Art of Destiny checked out. People want this book, and it is 23 hours, so there's no way that I'm gonna listen to it today and talk to you guys about it at all. I'm probably actually gonna wind up returning this book to the library unread, because I don't have time for it right now, even though I really want to read it. What else do I have here? I have the audio version of Beyond the Story by the members of BTS and a person who helped them write it. I'm going to listen to the audiobook and then tell you that person's name so I don't butcher it. But I have that because Melanie sent me that copy that you see behind me. But I'm probably not going to read that physically. So if I'm going to read it, I'm going to do the audio for that. And then I have The Fake by Zoe Whittle, which is about this woman who faked having cancer, and the two people, I think one woman she's like having an affair with, and then another man she gets close to, and I think their partners or someone close to them was actually suffering from cancer, and so it's those two people that were scammed by this scam artist coming together and like figuring out how they were able to fall for this or whatever. I checked it out because it sounded interesting. I like a good scammer, and it's only 6 hours on audio, so for me that'd be around like 2 hours. Um, Whether or not it's going to be any good, I don't know. Length was really the driving factor. The Beyond the Story is 11 hours, but I know that the physical book has like some pictures. So like I just have a hard time believing that that's really an 11-hour audiobook uh, between you and me. So I checked out things based on the length. Like if it was under 10 hours, I was able to check it out and if it sounded interesting. So that's what I have there. And then on Libro, I was going through my catalog and like downloading things. I have a lot, like I said, um, there was a period of time where like they weren't capping like how many of the influencer picks you could take. And so like some months they'd have like 30 books. And so I would download 30 books that month. And so I have like 200 or something audiobooks that I was given that I've just not ever listened to. And I should probably fix that. First, I have The Sunsets in Singapore by Kendi Fidipe. I know I butchered that. That recently came out from, I want to say it was Grand Central Publishing. They sent me an arc of this at some point. I know I have this on NetGalley, so when it popped up on Libro, I was really eager to grab it just because I figured it would help me get to it before the book came out. And now the book is out and I still have not read it. It's a group of women. I think they're in, like I said, Singapore. And it's a friendship story, but maybe there's something more beneath the surface as well. I might read that. And then this morning I could have sworn I was downloading things this morning. Maybe they didn't actually download. But anyway, The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins, The Mystery Guest, that's the sequel to The Maid. I didn't like The Maid, and I do think The Maid is a little bit problematic, but like, I'm interested to see what Nita Prose is doing. Like, she won the Goodreads Choice Award last year, so and this came out, I want to say last week. And so if it's as big as The Maid was, I would not be surprised if this popped up in next year's awards. Kind of like, I just kind of refuse to believe that YA was so bad that Sophie Gonzalez's We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, their little reality dating competition book, was able to get nominated in Best YA. The book came out in December of last year and it was not very good. And I just have a hard time believing that in all of 2023, YA was so down bad that they couldn't find something to knock We Are Never Getting Back Together out of contention. So you have that. I have The Villa by Rachel Hawkins, which was their release this year, I want to say. It might have been last year. I have another book by Rachel Hawkins. They're released next year. And so I've been toying with the idea of like a Rachel Hawkins video for like forever and a day. I also grabbed Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I don't know anything about this other than it's a romance and I could be interested. Other than that, I don't really know what I'm going to listen to at all. Like, I have a bunch of options. I'm not super invested in any of them, but I know that I need to read something, or at least start something. I don't even care at this point at like 9:04 in the morning if I even finish it before I get home from work. I just want something to start and to be invested. Maybe tonight or next time I will have thoughts on a book, either one of the things that I've already run through and told you that I checked out or that I have downloaded, or maybe it'll be something completely different. I do have like a really long form project that I'm currently working on, and I should read for that. I also should be reading for the patrons because I'm pretty sure that the poll that I have running for their pick this month is over, and I definitely need to read that book. So I'm gonna figure it out. I'll tell you what that book is when the poll is over. Let me see. Let me just double check. I can open the Patreon app right now. This clip has been 13 minutes of me just yammering on about nothing at all. Let's see here. It ends in 2 days. But right now, it is winning with half of the votes. And it's Colleen Hoover. So I might be reading my first Colleen Hoover this month, which does not feel particularly festive. If anything, it feels like an attack. But I'm going to take solace on the fact that I did not purchase this book. I just saw it on my... That's also what I need to do. I saw a copy of The Dating Playbook in my apartment complex's little free library, and I liked that book last year when I read it, so I want to go snatch it up. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go. I'll check back in this evening with thoughts and opinions on things, but for now, I got to go. Feels like no time has passed since I was last here, but it is the next morning. It is now Sunday, and I did not do as much reading last night as I wanted to. Wanted is not really the right word. I feel like the word I should use is could have. So I had to go to work yesterday, but like I was saying in yesterday's clip, my plan was to go watch the Beyonce concert film, which I was initially annoyed that ticket was $25 after tax. It was like 24, maybe like 24.12 or something. So like rounding to 25 is like kind of a leap, but still, it was expensive. For a Saturday morning matinee. Still upset about that because every other theater showing with like the better seats, because obviously they put this concert film and like, I mean, it was still like actually one of the bigger theaters with the lousy old seats from like, 2010 or whatever, not the nice leather recliners. Those tickets were like $10 after tax. So $15 Beyonce, and I'm pretty sure that was actually $15. Maybe the $15 was going to Beyonce and the $10 was going to AMC because obviously there is no like distributor. She just like made this deal herself or whatever. Still, I was annoyed. Also, I did miss Nicole Kidman. They did not show Nicole Kidman before the concert film. Like, I get it. It's not like a movie, but like, it's been 3 years of that at this point. Like, give me Nicole Kidman. Anyway, the film itself, brilliant, excellent. No notes. No notes. Listen, do I think that like would have had a better, would have had a different experience seeing the concert live? Definitely, but I also know myself, and I would not have spent any kind of money to be within any kind of distance of Beyonce. And while I had like a really good experience at the nosebleeds during the Formation World Tour, I don't think it's comparable at all to the experience that I had watching the concert film. So I feel like my little $25 was well spent, and I'm no longer upset that it cost me $25. And in fact, I know that I will be back. I will spend another $25 to watch this in theaters at some point. And would I purchase this to own on digital? Probably. I probably would purchase a digital copy of this. Like, listen, I thought that Homecoming on Netflix was like a nice moment, a nice little concert film, but there was really something about this film that just really did it for me. It really got me through yesterday because yesterday I was very annoyed when I got to work. Uh, if I was on Patreon, I might complain about it, and then I would probably cut it in editing. And so I'm just gonna try and do the editing with what I'm saying. And it's just that I really thought that I was the only person that was at work that was annoyed with one of these coworkers that I have, or I guess technically two of these people, but still, thought I was the only one. And on Friday, I was happy to learn that I was not the only person. And I don't know, there's just something about a person who does the same thing every time. So like, I can no longer be annoyed, but I do feel some kind of way about what was happening. But as because I'm going to be vague about it, I'm going to leave it there. We're going to get back to the books. I have two things to haul for you. So, like I said, I knew there was a copy of The Dating Playbook at my apartment complex's little free library. And so, of course, I had to snatch it because I liked this book and I read it last year. Will I ever reread this book? No. Is this me just hoarding something? Yes. But as someone who has put books in that little free library, I know they don't really move. So, I don't really feel bad about taking this because I don't really think it would have moved. I also, while I was there, noticed that they had a copy of The Deal by L. Kennedy. And I read the first Avalon Bay book last Vlogmas, and I gave it 3 stars, I think. And so I was like, oh, Kennedy, this is great, particularly because I think that Coho is going to win my Patreon poll. And so I feel like I'm going to be reading that and the Coho for my patrons this month. So if you want those thoughts, that'll be over there. As for the L. Kennedy book, I am going to talk about because I did actually read a little bit, a teensy bit, while I was at work. Again, like I was saying, I had plenty of opportunity to read more than what I did. I want to say I read like the first 15% of Bad Girl Reputation, which is book 2 of the Avalon Bay. I was inspired by seeing The Deal at the Little Free Library, and so on my way to work, I said, "Let me see if my library has book 2 out." And I had to put a hold on it, like it wasn't instantly available, so I wasn't even sure that I was going to get it. And then while I was at work, I got the notification, and so I downloaded it. I listened to the first 15%, mostly on my way home. But I'm being honest, I listened. I don't know. Like the first book was fine enough, but this one, I'm unsure. I'm unsure if I'm gonna like this one or not. So here we have Genevieve, who used to date Ethan. I think that's the correct twin. They used to date because they grew up together. It was Genevieve, Ethan, and Connor were like the three stooges or whatever. They were like really the three musketeers might be a better name. And so they were like really close and they had a really fun relationship. And Ethan and Genevieve specifically were like on and off, not the healthiest relationship known to man. But a year before the start of the story, Genevieve just like abruptly leaves town. I have a feeling that she was harassed in some manner by the Newtown sheriff. And so like that kind of like ran her out of town and she just didn't tell anybody. I have to be very honest with you. Do I believe that you could be harassed by the town sheriff? Probably. But do I think that like the only person you would ever tell is like this? I think it was her brother, one of her brothers she told this to. Maybe her brother was there when this was happening. Um, It just feels very silly to me that you have these deep connections, not only with Ethan and Connor, but all these other friends that you have in town, and you just like pick up and leave, and no one kind of understands why you left. You just like pick up and go. Um, it's just is deeply unserious personally, but also these book like the first book was not too terribly deeply serious either, and none of the events of this book are deeply serious, and so like you do have to kind of go into this book ready to judge it on a deeply unserious scale. I think maybe at the end of the day it'll still be, you know, a good time or whatever, but I do think I am going to meet the book where the book is and not try and will the book to be something that it was never. The twin brother of the love interest from the first book, which to be honest with you has completely left my memory. I don't remember anything about that book other than Connor and Mackenzie got together, and Mackenzie is a student at the university there. It's like a, I want to say prestigious, but it's like a, I don't know, it seems where the rich kids go to school, so like it's not that impressive academically maybe, but the people go there. I also think that it's just a little bit crazy that both Ethan and Connor have a house in Avalon Bay, and so does Genevieve's dad. Like there's like, you know, the locals and then like the rich people who live, you know, down the Cape or whatever. But all of these are like oceanside properties. Well, Ethan and Connor's is like near Oceanside. Genevieve's dad might live, you know, a couple blocks inland or whatever. But like all these people are just like, oh, those uppity rich people. How could, and it's just like, but your property values have to be also boosted by the fact that you live near the fucking ocean. Like, I, I, I don't know. Like, I don't really ever intend to buy a house. Like, I'm really not the person who spends all my free time on Zillow or real estate.com. That's not a real place, but like realtor.com, looking at, you know, real estate listings in the universe. But just like logically speaking, like, sure, you might not have income, but you are also people in your 20s that own homes. Well, maybe not Genevieve, but like Ethan and Connor own a home. They're not like, it's just very, it's just, that is also like another element of like this deeply unserious nature of the book. And it does kind of feel like an author writing, you know, characters in the present with like a mindset of a time that just like kind of no longer exists, specifically in a town that would be like Avalon Bay, and specifically in a town where your property values would definitely, it's one thing to be, you know, when you have like these 20-year-old homeowners in the middle of fucking nowhere, it's like, okay, like sure, like you probably do still have reasonably priced houses, but there's no way that the real estate market in Avalon Bay is realistic at all. But that's not part of the story, and I guess it's really not that deep. But that's what I'm gonna be listening to today. Um, I could finish it today. Will I finish it today? I'm not entirely certain. I do have to go back to work tonight, and I'm not looking forward to it. Um, I'm really tired, and I don't want to go, but I'm gonna go. Luckily, I don't. I do have to work tomorrow, but then I have Tuesday off, and I'm very much looking forward to Tuesday because on Tuesday I'm just gonna do some reading sprints with the patrons and like lay in bed, maybe watch a movie. So Tuesday I'm going to relax as much as possible. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But for now, this is all I got for you guys. So thanks for being here. Can't wait to talk more about Bad Girl Reputation, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow in another video.